Hello everyone, we the students of Xavier Institute of Management Bhubaneswar will talk about the sustainability practices across industries. And for this we have taken the tire industry. Now, over 1 billion tires are manufactured worldwide across the 450 tire factories in the world. And the major consumption of the tire industry is natural rubber. And their different uses are the industrial products, conveyor belts, automotive products like fan belts, and latex products like rubber gloves. And the conventional tire contains 28% natural rubber, 28% synthetic rubber, 28% carbon fillers, and the rest are the functional agents. The common environmental issues are wastewater containing chemical and smell, hazardous waste, noise, and thermal emission. Different ingredients of the tire are rubber, carbon black, metal, textile, zinc oxide, sulfur, additives, and carbon based materials. Now, talking about the life cycle of a tire, in the production phase, we talk about the raw materials, their source, and the manufacturing process, and the key properties of the commonly used chemicals and their exposure scenarios, and the use of the nanomaterials in the tire manufacture. Now, in tire use phase, now we talk about the fundamental measurements of the tire and road wear particle, the distribution of the TRWP in air and their impact on the water and soil and the toxicity of the TRWP. And then we go to the end of the life where we talk about the different management practices like reduce, reuse, recycle, the 3 R's, and expanding it to the developing economies. Major areas which they impact are the production phase where we talk about the raw material sourcing, and the use phase we talk about the tire and road wear particles where we talk about the tire roll resistance which affects the energy use and the greenhouse gas emissions that resulted from it. And in the end of the lifetime management we will talk about the reuse where 85% of the reuse of tires is done in the developed economies which needs to be taken to the developing economy.
Now let us come to the tire companies following sustainable practices. First is Apollo Tyres Limited. Apollo Tyres Limited India started its business of manufacture and sale of tires in 1972. The company has its corporate headquarters in Gurgaon, India, and its manufacturing units in India, Hungary, and the Netherlands. It markets its products under two global brands, Apollo and Vredestein, and sells it over 100 countries through a vast network of branded, exclusive, and multi-product outlets. Now let's come to the sustainable practices followed by the company. First is green or bin paper recycling. Under this initiative, they focused on conserving the four key resources: energy, water, waste, and biodiversity. This initiative is run by the employee themselves. It also attempts to create behavioral change which goes beyond the workplace and leads to employees adopting it even in their personal lives. Next is Apollo Radial Service Assistance. This aimed at engaging the customers to optimize the operational efficiency in their fleet. A specially trained and qualified person was allocated to the fleet to make standard checks like vehicle inspection, scrap tire inspection, inflation, etc., which led to enhancement in 15 to 20%. Weight reduction. They have introduced a new product line, Quatrack 5, which reduces rolling resistance by an average of 10%. Reduction in rolling resistance leads to direct reduction in fuel consumption. Next is the use of silica technology. The company is using silica as reinforcement material in fossil fuels. They have introduced a new product range, Apollo 3J Max, which uses silica technology. Next is green compound technology. Apollo tires have introduced a new tread compound with the carbon black reinforcement whose performance in regards to rolling resistance is similar to silica tread compound. Next is employee engagement on environment sustainability. Comprehensive employee engagement on environment awareness and sustainability program was designed in partnership with Center for Environment Research and Education. This program was aimed at promoting environmental sustainability through formal education and mass awareness program. Next is organic farming. In October 2011, organic gardening was undertaken as a pilot, and the main objective of the garden farming was proper utilization of wasteland and effective use of slurry from biogas plant. And the last one is Clean My Transport Nagar program. In 2012-13, the company launched a solid waste management project in Sanjay Gandhi Transport Nagar. The objective of the Clean My Transport cleanliness of the area and to generate awareness among the stakeholders.
We will be talking about Seat Tires and the steps it takes to make its business process sustainable. Considering that Seat Tires is the flagship company of RP Goenka Group, the kind of impact it has due to its business practices is quite significant. So let us just go through the steps that it takes. It wants to utilize resources judiciously and optimize the tire use by being environmentally responsible and create sustainability through eco-friendly products. They wish to have a safe business. They want to deliver safety by introducing advanced technology which will blend grip and control, and it will not quality of the tire. That is, it will not reduce the tire life. It would focus on developing materials and compounds which are essential for grip, safety, and try to do that by minimizing the impact on the environment. They will have a process development group to co-engineer the process and prove the design to be more. Apart from that, they also want to minimize the utilization of petroleum products because they are the most harmful materials which can be utilized by them, and it is also non-renewable and has a huge carbon footprint. This is a endeavor of Seat Tires to be taking green steps towards their business processes. Apart very closely with world-class universities and research institutions, such that they utilize materials which are really modern and have shorter development cycles. Apart from that, they want to implement poker yoke in their system to strengthen their process. Poker yoke is basically for a particular system. Now, poker yoke cannot be implemented 100% because no system can be 100% error free. However, it can be reduced to a large extent. Therefore, they want to achieve various global certifications like the OSAS and the TS 16949. And lastly, they want to use state of the art for testing and measuring their tire performances. And lastly, they have product engineers who validate that the tires are actually working up to the measured performance standards as they have tested in real conditions. Therefore, this is how Seat wants to incorporate sustainable business.
Next, we're going to talk about Pirelli Tires. Pirelli Tires is basically a multinational company based in Milan, Italy. It is the fifth largest tire manufacturer in the world, and it has a network of around 10,000 distributors and retailers. It has 19 manufacturing sites which are located all around the world. So how has Pirelli adopted these sustainability measures? It is basically through 4 steps. First of all, the carbon disclosure project, in which Pirelli has asked its key suppliers to join it in undergoing climate change performance monitoring via the project. Suppliers have managed to cut CO2 emissions by 116.5 million tons and also recording savings of 793 million euros. Second is the sustainability plan. Sustainability plan aims at increasing revenues from green performance products in 2017, which equals to around 48% of tire revenues by 2020. Third is the global stakeholder dialogue, which is promoted by Pirelli and aims at gathering the expectations and feedback from major international stakeholders. Fourth, the partnership with Kiran Megaterra. So Kiran Megaterra is one of the major natural rubber suppliers in the world. Pirelli, along with Kiran Megaterra, supports small natural rubber producers in Indonesia by means of process and product quality training activities, donation of high quality rubber tree seeds, and scholarships for their children. So what this activity does is produces social as well as economic benefits, fostering the increase of production and consequently decreasing deforestation by correctly exploiting the rubber tree growing in existing plantations.
After comparing and after seeing what the Indian companies did in this front, we tried to find out the global companies and what are the sustainable practices in the tire industry. Now, one of the hottest topics at the International Tire Exchange and Conference Tyre held in October 2014 for tire manufacturers in Akron was recycling scrap tires. At the International Tire Exchange and Conference Tyre held in October 2014 for tire manufacturers in Akron was recycling scrap tires and the sustainable aspects of the industry. Many companies are working towards putting together sustainable programs to create more opportunity for tires to be reused instead of dumping them into landfills. Many companies are working towards putting together sustainable programs to create more opportunity for tires to be reused instead of dumping them into landfills. Now, When we tried to find out which global company has done something in this front, we chose Lehigh Technologies. Lehigh Technologies came up with the idea of manufacturing the greenest tire. Now, what is exactly a greenest tire and how does it help? Now, developing high values uses for end of life tire materials instead of just dumping them into landfills is what was coined as the greenest tire. Now, why did Lehigh Technologies thought of doing this? Because every pound of Lehigh's MRP helps save 10 kilowatt of energy in comparison with traditional alternatives and 40% of the carbon dioxide produced with traditional alternatives. So it was definitely a better method to save the environment from pollution. Now, what did they do to come up with green tire? In 2007, they started a worldwide campaign to increase the environmental contributions of the tire industry through the use of innovative, sustainable materials. Their goal was very ambitious. They wanted to manufacture 1 billion green tires on road that will enhance sustainability. Well, 1 billion looks quite a big number, but finally in 2015, they achieved this major milestone. And as of 2016, over 400 million new tires and retreads have been manufactured with Lehigh's MRP. So what they did is, by 2015, their goal of achieving the green tire, of trying to produce something new and then getting up with a better alternative to help the end of the life tire materials, and by 2016 they manufactured new tires. Finally, what were the achievements? Well, they focused mainly on the better rolling resistance to keep tires from landfills and reduce the energy and greenhouse gas emissions. Lower rolling resistance decreases the energy used per tire roll, which improves vehicle fuel efficiency. So tires with better rolling resistance also use less oil for the production of gasoline and less money spent at the pump for consumers, as well as the fuel consumption is also decreased. So that's all. Thank you.